What is up, you beautiful people? It's your boy Ebesis back, and once again we are here for a Formula 1 24 video. This time we're at Mexico for round 2 of the Where's the Finish Line Gold Tier Season 6. Mexico then is a good track for me, historically speaking. I tend to go quite well here. I don't know what it is about the track, it just seems to gel for me. So hopefully, we pull away a good result today to help us in our hunt for our first ever race win in an online race, and also, in the longer term, our first ever championship. A quick review then of the calendar as it stands. Obviously we're here at round 2 for Mexico. We had Portimao last week, a track I'd never raced before, but we had a fairly decent result. But we are at the start of a pretty long journey ahead of us. So yeah, a good result here could set us up quite well for the future. A quick look at the driver standings then after round 1. We're currently sitting in P6, joint on points with Sepoy. After we finished P9 on track, but we got 0 track limit warnings in Portimao, meaning that we got an extra 3 championship points added onto our tally. And a quick look onto the team standings then. We're currently sitting in P2, just 1 point behind at the Aston Martins in P1. With our teammate Dave and ourselves having a decent result last time out. We'll hopefully look to continue that on during this round. Without further ado then, let's jump into the Mercedes and see how we got on during the stream. As we said before then, Mexico, it's a pretty big favourite track of mine. So, practice itself was pretty easy going. I tend to do well at this track. I've recently done a league race in another league here as well, so I felt quite dialed in and quite in tune with not just how I should drive the track, but also the setup and as well, the strategy as well. So I went into the stream pretty passive, pretty chilled out, and quite happy with where my starting point was. It was a bit of night and day really to Portimao last week, where we were struggling to learn the track in time for the race. Here, there were minor mistakes like you see there, but by and large I was able to push from the outset really. And yeah, that sort of led to quite a relaxed start to the stream. I was able to have a couple of breaks and just attack the time trial from a few different angles before eventually settling, and after about an hour or so of practice, I think it was an hour and a half actually, we then went into a practice race session where we started focusing on the strategy for the night, double checking the setup with the tire temps and things like that. This track is it's a tire chewer. Like, it cooks the rear tires over the course of 1 or 2 laps. It makes the softs pretty much unusable. It's not as bad for mediums, and hards do go around fairly well, but you see here on screen the tires just start screaming at you over a couple of laps as we catch the car there. So it's definitely something you need to get a handle on before you enter a race, because if you're not prepared for it, it's gonna spin you out. It's gonna cause you problems. But yeah, practice was pretty uneventful, and before long we then transitioned into the lobby and jumped into the session, ready to take all of our practice forward into a competitive setting. We felt pretty confident in the ability. I felt like tonight was going to be a good opportunity for a good result. I was quietly hopeful for a win. Still chasing that first ever win in an online race down, and I thought tonight may just be the chance to do it really. And so we jumped into the session. We jumped in quali. pretty happy. Obviously, we're checking the weather there. Dry race for both qualifying. Dry session for both qualifying and the race. The temperature in the race is quite high compared to qualifying, though, with a bit of a dip later on. So that was something we were going to factor into the tyre wear. But we'll have a look now at the first lap that we did. As I pass you over to the live sort of reactions and speech. Okay, we've got a lot of space in front of us. We should be good. This isn't a clean lap, but should be okay. (15.1) puts us fastest of all 2 people that have done a time so far. And so we were sitting quite happy at the top for most of the session. We went back to the pits. We eventually did get outdone by Mr. XL, but this was quite a way into the session. So we didn't really see the need to go out for a second attempt until right towards the end. Obviously, Mexico, you don't necessarily want to be on pole position some of the time. It's a long run down to turn 1. So sometimes being on that second row is a bit better, really, because you can use those slipstreams to try and make a move into turn 1. But we did then go out and attempt another lap towards the end, as you'll see now, really. We do have our teammate on an outlap ahead of us. He shouldn't get in our way too hard. And yeah, unfortunately, we have a bit of a problem, and we are going to back out of. We choose to back out of the lap, but we do get around to starting another lap here, right at the death of the session. So you can jump on board now. See what we can do. This is the absolute final chance we're going to get. There is not enough time to get around again. This is messy.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
And we'll take P2 then. That was a messy lap for us. We did what we could, unfortunately. Jay Hartnell is on a lap. So is our teammate. Atom and Dave are also on a lap. Atom's finished. He can't improve. Dave is going to be the last one to cross the line, I think. Jay Hartnell's going to be the next one to cross. Yeah, we could have got better, I think, but it was a very messy lap, unfortunately. But you know what, a 1:14.9 I will take as Jay goes fastest. That puts us P3. not massively disappointed with that, you know. It's a very long run to P down to turn 1. If we get a good run, there's no reason why we can't be challenging for a lead position. And so there you have it. P3 in qualifying was a pretty good result in my eyes at the time. On the strategy page now, the default suggested strategy was a medium to hard. It's a strong suggestion by the game. It is generally the quicker. However, I was anticipating I could probably extract a bit more pace out of the hards while the car was the heaviest with the fuel, things like that. So, you know, I was having a bit of a play around with that, and it turns out the gap between the two strategies was only about half a tenth of a second. So I basically took that as the kind of green light, really, to go for the contra strategy. There was only one other person running the strategy on the grid that we were. Everyone else was starting on the mediums. So yeah, by the time we got to the formation lap, we were pretty confident. You know, as we pull away here, we'll take a quick look at the tyres after we get up the gears a little bit, and you know, we see now that, you know, the tyres are already up to temperature pretty much. Like, you know, you don't have to try at all to get the tyres up to temperature here. So it wasn't a mad dash to, like, try and get temperature in the tyres or anything. It was actually a pretty chilled out formation lap, which was good. You know, it helped calm the nerves a little bit before the start of the race. But yeah, so obviously we get to the end of the formation lap now as we pull into the grid slot. A couple of burnouts just to get a last little bit of temp in. Just about pulling into the box now and getting ready to go, as we do now. And I'm going to hand you over to past me for the start of the race. Here we go. We get a good pull away. That puts us P2. Oh, that is a bad Sector 3, and that might shaft us here.
We can now use DRS. DRS now available.
We're going to lose a position here, but it's fine. We said we'd work with XL. And we're going to try and work with him. There's no DRS on this part of the lap.
Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past.
Bit of argy-bargy. We nearly screw him over there, but it's all good. No harm, no foul. And to be honest with you, this isn't a bad position for us to be in. We get it right that time. That's going to mean that we're less vulnerable on this straight now. Absolute battery merchant. It's not happening, Wab. The more positions we defend here, the better our late races. We do lose DRS here, though, unfortunately. So Wab will get us. We're not even going to fight him.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
Heavy on the brakes there by Dave. The mediums are going to be the faster tyre at the minute, but it will come back to us. Probably around about lap 10. So for as long as we stay in striking range, we're good. And sure enough, a lap later, just to help us get in striking range, you know, we're just about starting to trace down our teammate, as you hear there. You know, he's starting to hold us up a little bit, but safety car pops out. We are staying out, and yeah, we choose to stay out there, as you heard. But yeah, that was Curly, I think, having a drama. I'm not sure who had a whoopsie there. We've got 12 runners. Someone is out. So yeah, obviously at the time I didn't know that it was Curly, but yeah, we cracked on, and we were able to maintain temps in the tyres and keep it decent right up until the safety car came in a few laps later. Only 2 people, I think, ahead of us boxed, so we only gained a couple of positions. Come on, but it did help us out quite considerably. There we go. So I'll hand you back over for the safety car restart now, and back to past me.
Until the timing line. Safety car in this lap.
Okay, here we go. Tyres are nice, new still. Let's not stick the car in neutral. That's not a good idea, is it? Oh, this is slow. And we get a drop on him. I'm going to save the battery this time. We really screwed ourselves over last time. Brake a little bit early, offset the, and so at the moment we're just trying to hold position behind our teammate. We managed to hold our position, not really lose out, and we did gap. We managed to drop the guy behind. But unfortunately, you know, at the end of this this next lap, I think it is, we just get a little bit too keen on the pedal. No, we're not. We're nearly going to go into the pits. And we go sideways there. We got DRS, but that is an unfortunate mess up for us. So yeah, you know, we made a mistake. We lost a couple of positions for it, unfortunately, but you know, by the end of the lap, we're now starting to chase down one of those and try and get them back. So we're going to try and send a fakie into here. We force Welsh to go a little bit wide, and yeah, he tries to hold it, but we just take advantage of probably the fresher tyres by this point. As 3 laps later now, we are on the next car forward. The mediums are absolutely dying off at this point, and the hards are coming into their own, and we are trying to make the most of it as we get Halsey there into the start of Sector 3, but he clips us in the rear somehow. I'm not quite sure how, and forces us sideways, gets us an illegal overtake, still makes contact with us through the stadium section, and yeah, basically I just wasn't able to pull anywhere near away from him enough. And yeah, so you know he's just going to get DRS back on us and retake us, which is a shame. You know, I feel like we probably should have been past him by that point in the race, but you know, passed him twice by he held on to the position. But yeah, thankfully we do look to get him on. I think it's the next lap. We set him up now through the stadium section, no side-by-side shenanigans, and yeah, we're going to do this nice and clean under DRS.
Yellow flag.
All right, we're going to get him now, hopefully before DRS even opens. There we go. And yeah, so as we pass Halsey, just about there with a little bit of ERS help in hand, Jay manages to get straight past us on fresher tyres, so we're going to follow him. Now we know Jay's going to be quick. He's got the fastest lap of the race, and there goes our 3 points. As you see, we lose the 3 points for a clean race with that one in there. Yeah, Jay's going to be quick. He's got the fastest lap of the race. I think he's got fresher tyres than me. So all we're going to do is follow him now for the next few laps. I don't know if he's going to try and go to the end or not. And yeah, as you see, all we're doing is just locking in behind Jay, letting him pull us along with a faster pace and DRS, recharge a little bit of battery. And let it help our race until it's time to pit. Yeah, and we do quite a good job of that. This up. Until eventually we do decide we're going to pass him. There we go. He turns the battery off, makes it easy for us. He let us through, and yeah, we're basically going to decide, you know, we want to lead the pace until a couple of laps later it's time for us to box. Yeah, we are now losing time quite considerably to those behind, so now is the time to box. No penalties, that's what we need.
Okay, go, go, go! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
Okay, let's see where we end up here then. Wab's dropped them out of DRS, which means that whole pack is going to be slower.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Yeah, they're already in temp. We are good. 14 laps on these mediums. We can do that. Nice clean stop there then. So, yeah, now it's just about trying to chase down the others. And a couple of laps later, we're already on the first car. He's been on those mediums for a while, though, but we're going to set him up now. Get DRS on him, nice. We just need to set this up through the stadium section. And, yeah, we get up onto the back of his car here. You can tell he's struggling for pace already. We're going to stay within DRS here. We know we're faster than him. He has a quick slide there, but then dives into the pits. That gives us a free dose of DRS to try and help us chase after the others. There we go. Which we're going to do now. We're, you know, going to fast forward a couple of laps later, and we're now back on our teammate who plays the ultimate team game here, as you see. Right, come on, Dave. Nice. Fantastic team play there from Dave. Yeah, fair play to him then for jumping out of our way, really helping the team out. This was where I had a lot of pace. I was quite clearly the faster of the two, and it helped me just sort of chase after the car ahead. You know, I'm trying to chase down the lead pack here, and ultimately it's going to help the team. I did the same for him last round, staying out of his way, and he kindly returns the favour for us tonight. Right, we're not going to go for Halsey on this straight.
Well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race.
We'll go from into the end of Sector 1. So you see us there, you know, just remembering that Halsey is a bit of a tough driver to pass. He can make his car quite wide. He can get his elbows out when he needs to. So we're just going to set him up here and use the second DRS zone to our advantage. We burn a little bit of battery, and then we realise he's also burning. We're going to need to really commit here to try and get past him, which we do with a little bit of late braking. These fresh tyres really coming in clutch now as we continue our charge forward. And so, yeah, we're now up into P3 on officially on the podium, and confidently chasing down our first win as we fast forward a couple of laps. One of the drivers ahead of us boxed, and so this leaves us fighting Jenkins, who has a 3-second time penalty for P1 in this race. Lofty heights here for us, and yeah, about to get a nosebleed with how high up the order we are. Alright, we're going to use DRS here. And you see, still nice, calm and collected, and we commit, send it down the inside into the corner. Nicely done there. Again, using these fresher tyres, and now it's just about pulling out a gap. Alright, now we need to gap him. As you see there, that's all we needed. That's all we were thinking of. And yeah, we lead for a couple of laps. Jenkins... Don't want to fight him too much. Jenkins then with DRS. He will get us. You know, we're a bit vulnerable here, and so to be honest, we're not going to fight him. The main person we need to fight is Halsey, and yeah, so we let him by. We're not going to waste too much time fighting if it means that we can gap Halsey behind us. And it basically, unfortunately, the battling did still allow Halsey to stay within DRS, and you know, we do eventually re-overtake Jenkins on the next lap, as you see here. But yeah, we are in an unprecedented situation for us here up at the front of the grid. I've never won an online race, I'll be honest, despite racing for about 7 years privately, and this is potentially going to be our first ever. Alright, it's a straight fight to the finish now. And you see we get rather excited there, but unfortunately, at the end of that very same lap, this happens. And I've lost game audio. You see there. EA... Fantastic. EA, unfortunately, with their inability to make a finished product, have still not fixed the game audio loss bug, and we fall victim to it. We attempt to keep sort of pushing hard, but you know, without being able to hear the engine, the gears, you know, how the car's behaving. It's based purely on sight here. It's basically removed one of our sensors, and as you see there, Halsey immediately gets past us because we're just not able to brake as late as we want to, or rev the car up as high as we want to, you know, for fear of wheel spinning. We attempt to still keep with him, as you see here. You know, we do an alright job, but then, you know, we've got a heavy braking zone coming up, and like I said, you know, we can't downshift anywhere near as well because we it's just not in our ear, and as you see there, we tag ourselves on the back of Halsey. I don't think he did anything wrong there. I don't necessarily think I did anything wrong there. But that does end our hopes for the win. As you see, a couple of laps later, we just go backwards, unfortunately. We're down in P4, we hold that, but we cross the line. And I've left the speech from the stream out of it because I used some colourful language. As you see, we take our frustration there out on the wall. Yeah, honestly, we were robbed. I think we had a lot of good pace. It was never a given, but it was ours to lose, and unfortunately, because of that issue where, you know, we couldn't control the car as well as we wanted because of a game bug, we lose the first chance we have of winning a race. And yeah, it's not good. It's insane that we're in 2025 and these bugs still exist in the game. They've been here for a few years now. And yeah, unfortunately, it ruins races. It ruined our race. I do genuinely believe that if it wasn't for the loss of audio, I'd be sat here with my first win, and you know, hopefully first of many. But we've been cheated by something that wasn't our fault, and yeah, we have to try and look into the future to try and get one. Which is a shame, because, you know, it would have been a good track to get it at. We were strong, we had good pace, we were arguably, I'd say, the fastest man on track. But it is what it is. Well done to Halsey, you know, he did keep it, he did keep strong pace, he did keep within striking distance the entire time. That's why I say, you know, it wasn't a given. You know, but it's, yeah, it is a massive shame for it to end that way. But, yeah, no, like I said, well done to Halsey and the other two for keeping it clean as well, and rounding out the podium. Well done to our teammate as well, P5, you know, strong result from Mercedes. As we show the driver and the constructors' standings on the screen now. Yeah, we'll chalk that up to an unfortunate loss of a win, but yeah, hopefully, you know, we'll next time out in Spain, we will come back strong. We'll come back with a vengeance, and you know, we'll get a good result. I don't know if we'll get a win. We're not as strong at Spain as we are at Mexico, but it's a track that I know. It's a track that I can do well at on my day. So we will see. But yeah, that is essentially all that was streamed. I pretty much ended the stream quite quickly after the race. So there's not really much else to show, but we look forward, we look ahead to the next one, and we will hopefully get a good result. But for now, thank you everyone for tuning in, watching. Leave your comments down in the comment section below, whether or not you think it was we were robbed, or whether or not, you know, it was simply a skill issue. It's yeah, it's going to be quite divisive, I expect. But yeah, if you do like the video, please like and subscribe. All that sort of stuff. It will help the channel out, and definitely leave your thoughts, like I said, in the comment section. You know, help me get better at this whole content creation thing. I've tried to edit this one a bit better than the last one. Hopefully, it has come across. You know, with a bit of music and things like that, just to keep it from being me talking at you with nothing else going on. But yeah, thank you for watching thus far, and I will see you next week and let you know how the Spanish race went. But yeah, thank you very much. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.